Hey, so I want to make this little video before the actual video first because I want to apologize in advance. Uh, Due to the fact that we had to record through Skype, the sound's gonna the audio is gonna sound a little bit scratchy, and you're gonna see a little bit of pops and stuff. So yeah, because OBS was being a bitch with the NDI. But don't worry, I'm working on that. So you're not gonna listen to that anytime soon. So, anyways, it was a fun video to record. So hope you enjoy it. Stay safe out there. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new edition of Beyond Stars Movie Reviews. My name is Bryan Chevere, and I'm joined today via Skype by Luis Vazquez. How you doing, Luis?
I'm doing great. I'm enjoying the time of my life here. Practicing my French, my German. Due to this whole pandemic, we got a lot of free time.
Yeah, we all got a lot of free time. I've been like improving everything in the studio. I finally got my roadcaster, so I'm using this shiny new microphone. But and as well as watching a lot of anime and things that I haven't watched before. Waiting for new movies to come back, so the movies to open up again because we had them open here, and then like last week they closed it up again because coronavirus round two started to happen sadly. So everyone out there, keep wearing masks, stay at home if you can, because I really need my new movies this year. I don't want the movies from November, Black Widow to get delayed again, because if Black Widow gets delayed, Eternals gets delayed again. So let's do our job, people. Now, while movie theaters releases are on standby, it hasn't stopped the streaming services to release their movies. So let's start off with Old Guard, directed by Gina Prince Bythewood, and it's based on comics by Greg Rokas, and it stars Charlize Theron, Kiki Lane, and Chiwetel Ejiofor. What do you think about the Old Guard from Netflix?
I thought it was pretty cool. It was really entertaining. Uh, Charlize Theron, she really puts on the role. I also, like the villain played by can spell his name, the actor from 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah.
He's such a good actor.
Yeah,
Uh,
one of the main things that grabbed me immediately about this movie is Charlize Theron. Anything she's in, I'm gonna watch. I loved her in Bombshell, and of course in Mad Max Fury Road. And let me tell you, one of the biggest worries after the whole Marvel situation on Netflix happened was the fact that Netflix was gonna was gonna have some troubles of finding new IP to adapt into movies or series, because of course we know that Stranger Things is ending soon, and they bought Variant, and then they adapted the Old Guard, which is a comic book series. And let me tell you, I'm very surprised with this movie. I didn't know what to expect because I didn't see any of the trailers that were released. I like the action and the story behind it. This whole immortals, yet not that immoral because eventually they'll die and everything. I especially like Kiki Lane. I think she was the surprise of the movie in this one. Uh, but I really enjoyed it. So it is a good property for Netflix. I think they can do like a lot more movies in this world. Uh, and I really like the supporting cast, but I was just my attention was solely focused on Charlize Theron because I really love her work. So what do you give this movie, Luis?
I would give like a 7.5 out of 10.
My ranking system is from 1 to 5, so I'm gonna give it a four out of five Funko Pops. I really had a good time, and of course, One of the things that I can't wait I cannot wait to see what Netflix does with this property, and I cannot wait to see more of Charlize Theron because I don't mind having more Charlize Theron in the big screen or the small screen, whatever. She's fantastic. Now, one of the other movies that got released around this month was, of course, Palm Springs, directed by Max Barbados. And it's kind of like a Groundhog Day time loop situation, and it stars Andy Samberg, Christine Milioti, J.K. Simmons, and of course, Veronica and Superman from the CW too. So, what do you think? What do you think about this comedy?
Well, at the beginning, I really had low expectations because, to me, yeah, but by the look of the trailer, it's a reimagining of Groundhog Day. I'm not really a fan of Andy Samberg. I saw the movie with Adam Sandler, That's My Boy, and I hated that movie. But yeah, yeah, but this movie, wow, it completely blew me away. After the first 20 minutes, I was hooked up. Andy Samberg, Christian Moriarty, and J.K. Simmons all gave fantastic performance. Just the story about the themes of nihilism, about repeating the same day over and over. The chemistry between the leads is so freaking awesome, and I was like blown away by it.
I really enjoy this movie. Hulu is starting to get a lot of quality films in its service, and I don't hate Andy Samberg. One of my favorite shows running today is Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but I'm not a big fan of his working when it comes to the big theater. So I didn't know what to expect about this movie. I've been hearing a lot about this movie in other places. I heard people raving about it, and once I started watching it, I got surprised because I didn't know that the actors from the CW were there. Superman and Veronica. That was so weird to me, and I haven't seen any of those shows like in years. But it was
Sí,
still weird to see them. But then once the whole time loop started to happen, it got funny. Yeah, then J.K. Simmons started showing up, and that's where the movie got even better because anything J.K. Simmons does is awesome. And I had a good time. It is a heartfelt movie. One of the things that I really like about this movie too is how it was, the colors and how the way it was shot. It really felt like a Palm Springs movie. I really wanted to be there, and of course, I think one of the highlights is, of course, Christine Milioti. I cannot wait to see her in even more movies because I really loved her. She was like the star of this movie. Andy Samberg is good and J.K. Simmons is awesome, but Kristen was the star of this movie. So, what do you give Palm Springs?
oh, a 10 out of 10. I can talk this movie for hours. I'm completely in love with it. For now, to me, this is the best movie of 2020.
I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 too, because I really had a good time. I rewatched it once after I saw the movie the first time around, and I really, really enjoyed it. Now, next in the list is of course the documentary Mucho Amor, the legend of Walter Mercado, from Netflix, directed by Christina Constantini and Karine Tabs, something like that. And it is like a walkthrough to Walter Mercado's life. What I think about Walter Mercado, and I really, really enjoyed this documentary. It is like a respectable send off for the iconic Walter Mercado, and it's very touching. One of the things, and it is a little bit of a nitpick in my part, is that yes, there's a lot of Hispanic representation in this movie. Of course, it's a highlight of one of Puerto Rico's best.
Mhm.
I didn't see enough of Puerto Rico's own talent because talking about Walter Mercado, it's a little bit of a nitpick, and I know because he wasn't as involved in Puerto Rican local TV as much as he was on Primer Impacto and all of those shows internationally. but I would have loved to see a little bit more of Puerto Rican representation. I know Lin Manuel Miranda loves Puerto Rico as maybe even more than I than myself, but I really wanted to see more of the people from this island. But I think it is a respectable documentary.
Yeah, no, it's a very, it pays homage to it. And one of my favorite scenes was with Manuel Miranda, saying that he loves the guy, he values the guy, and, paying homage, from someone who's now famous to someone who a long time ago was very famous. It was really good. And sometimes in real life, I used to see him because my grandfather stayed in this home, Santa Teresa Hornet, and he used to go there, I don't know, visit his mom and dad. So it was kind of cool, like, hey, I saw a very famous person back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you give the Walter Mercado documentary?
For me, I will give it a 9 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a 3, and that's because of that little nitpick. I really wanted to see a lot more of Puerto Rico's own local talent, because I would have loved to hear more of the locals more than the outside people, because I know Walter Mercado is loved globally, but I think I would have loved more to see a little bit more of salsa. You know what I mean? Now, talking about Lin Manuel Miranda, our last movie to review today is none other than Hamilton. Hamilton on Disney Plus, directed by Thomas Kail. It features, of course, Lin Manuel Miranda, Leslie Odom, David Diggs, Philippa So, and many, many more people. It's Broadway's biggest hit in modern day, and I wanna know what you thought about Hamilton. What are your thoughts first?
My thoughts, I think it's freaking amazing. It's not like one of my favorite musicals of all time, but it's a great musical about, combining history with hip hop. It's a way to connect with Mother Eye, since sadly most of Mother Eye don't like history, and and it's a way of getting to know about someone who was very compassionate, you know, about things.
No,
You know.
yeah, I I avoided throughout the whole Hamilton run. I avoided its music. I got the jokes. Oh, nobody can get a ticket to Hamilton. Can I get a ticket to Hamilton? Do I need to be rich to get a ticket for Hamilton? So I got all
Yeah.
of those jokes, but I wasn't as exposed to its music, and I tried to evade it because I knew because of how big Hamilton was, it was gonna get adapted into a movie anytime soon. Now, because one of my favorite musicals, and that's because I'm a big Shrek fan, was Shrek the musical, and it got released on DVD, and it was the whole show from Broadway and the original Broadway cast. So because Hamilton was a bigger hit than that musical, I was expecting it to hit theaters anytime soon or any of the streaming services. I heard that it was gonna get released in one of the theaters by one of the big production companies. So I was just waiting when. I didn't know Disney was the one who won the rights to Hamilton. I didn't expect Hamilton to hit Disney Plus, especially because of how big it was. And let me tell you, the whole hype. Believe the hype, it's really damn good. I really had a fun time watching Hamilton. I love the music. I still have like a lot of the songs from Hamilton stuck in my head, especially the one with King George. I
Okay, George. Yeah, he's the
every,
best part of the play.
every time I'm here in my studio, like in a little bit of a quiet time, I'm like, I'll be back.
You.
And, da, da, da. And I love it. I really love that song. And David Diggs, I mean, Lemano was great. I'm not gonna take his shot. I'm not gonna take his spotlight. But I think Lin Manuel Miranda shined even more, surrounded by the cast. The woman who played Angelica, Philippa So, who played Elizabeth, uh, Leslie Autumn who played Aaron Burr. Everyone was so fantastic, and uh, the songs hit me. And as a musical guy, I really had a great time. So I I couldn't stop watching Hamilton when I was watching it, and I'm gonna tell you, I think I'm gonna watch it again tonight. So what do you give Hamilton?
For me, I also would give like a 9 out of 10. You know, great musical, great choreography. Sometimes it could get a little bit dizzy at times, but yeah, most of the time, especially that one. Oh my God, you'll be back. I love it. I love it.
I'm gonna give it a 5 because I really had a fun time, and I was very worried with this one because it was so hyped around it,
Yeah.
and it was all worth it. My wait was worth it, and I really enjoyed it. So this is it. If you guys had you like any of these movies, you can comment them down in the comment sections down below. Uh, don't worry, we'll be back. We'll be back very soon because the weekly rap is gonna come back next week, as well as my Spanish show, Pasando la Chévere. And of course, at the end of August, me and John Chevalier are back in the Nonsense Train as the Nonsense Stop Show celebrates 1 year in YouTube. So this is Bryan
Woo!
Chevere, and Luis, where can the people find you?
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, Luis and Best Photo.
And you can find me on Twitter at It's the One Nerd, or every single Beyond Stuff social media at Beyond Stuff PR. Well, this is it. I'll see you guys next week on Pasando la Chévere, the weekly wrap, and at the end of the month, the Nonsense Stuff Show. See you guys, and take care.